we might be the number one rated show. Sam Ersson is decidedly not the number one goalie of your team, your town, your Philadelphia Flyers. This was not a pretty one if you're a fan of the man who once was the crowned number one on this team. And I know it's early, it's still early in the season. There's no reason to give up on a guy yet. But Bundy, I'm going to go over to you first. We said going into this one, it kind of was a big game for Ersson. Vladar's had two really good starts, both against the Panthers, got them their win on Monday night. This isn't like a back-breaking thing. It's not necessarily going to mean that Ersson is now the backup, but he did not really rise to the occasion in this game.
No, but I think Talk put forward a mini tryout for both guys, playing them every other game until someone solidifies it. And again, he gave up 4 goals again tonight. One of them was not a good goal. The Scheifele first goal he scored. The second goal of the game. Really put the Flyers behind the 8 ball trying to chase his hockey game. You need to make that one extra save. That's what Ersson's problem's been since he's been here with the Flyers. He just needs to get that one extra save, and that would make a difference in the game. He's played well at times, but you just can't let that softy in that can break the back of your team. Now, the Flyers in the third period, though, Winnipeg put a clinic on.
Yep.
They put an absolute clinic on in the third period. That's how you play a road game. You check, you keep everything to the perimeter, keep the shots from the perimeter, all the playmaking, and they bided their time. They got that one power play. Said they don't want to give the Winnipeg a power play. They did. Scheifele ended up capitalizing, which made it was that 4-1? I believe it was 4-1 at that point. So, and that's kind of the way the flow went. But, good goaltending by Winnipeg. Hellebuck was really good in this game when he had to be. But the Flyers, to be honest with you, needed more shots in that third period, and they weren't able to muster any up.
It felt like a bookended kind of game. The Jets were excellent at limiting the Flyers' opportunities in the first period. They were obviously excellent in the third period, didn't allow an even-strength shot in the third period. I think the only 2 shots, right, in the third came on the power play, or came with man advantage.
Well,
it was the man advantage with Mishkov at the end where they pulled the goalie.
Yeah, I guess it's technically still even strength because it's 5-on-5, but they pulled the goalie. Right? So they had an extra
skater. Yeah, we'll go extra skater. To me, it was like the first and the third, Flyers didn't have a lot of good opportunities. Second period, they did pepper Hellebuck with a ton of shots. They had 3 shots after 1. They had 15 shots after 2. So they quadrupled their shot production in the second period. It felt like they had built some good momentum. They were getting things going. That third, they just got absolutely stifled.
Yeah. They were in quicksand, and that was because of the way Winnipeg played. They played a perfect third period. Couldn't have played it any better. The only blemish against them was that 6-on-5 goal that Mishkov scored, and it was kind of a broken play. Went across, nice shot by Mishkov. That made it 4-2. And then the Flyers had another opportunity again to try to get another one back with about 2 minutes left before they pulled their goalie again, and that's where Mishkov turned it over to whoever it was that scored the 5th goal. I think. Was it Niederreiter? Maybe it was Niederreiter. I can't remember. But anyway, that was Hellebuck's first win in Philadelphia ever.
Yeah. He had lost his 4 previous attempts in Philadelphia.
Just a matter of time.
Which is wild because of how great a goalie he is, right? You would think that, he would win at least as bad as the Flyers have been and as good as he's been.
Yeah.
You would think he would have had at least 1 win prior to tonight, but now he didn't.
Let's go back to Mishkov because obviously he was one of the big stories coming into this. He had gone 3 games without a point. He didn't exactly look great tonight. I wouldn't say that he was a real impact player for the team. He does get that goal in the third. Given everything that's kind of surrounded him, the conditioning, the ankle injury, all of the away from the ice talk. Bundy, do you think that goal kind of gives him a little bit of pep in the step, maybe gives a little bit of boost to the spirits? Perhaps it gets a little bit of the heat and the pressure off?
Yeah, nice to see him score a goal. I mean, he's really been pressing, I think, a lot, and he's been a little bit behind the 8 ball in terms of the play on the ice. So it was nice to see him join that rush and score that goal. He turned it over right after, though, at the play at the blue line, again, where you're trying to keep it in. So he's just got to get on his game a little bit more, but hopefully a goal will propel him to something. The Florida Panthers have lost 3 in a row.
Wow.
Yeah, all on the road. They came out on the road, 3-0 at home. They got on the road, lost 3 in a row in regulation.
The interesting thing with Mishkov.
See you, Mike. Take care, buddy.
Yep, is
Mike, by the way, big Darth Vladar fan.
He likes the idea.
He was noting that he thought Vladar the other night.
Mike the organist is a fan. Is he a fan of Vladar, or is he a fan of the idea of calling him Darth Vladar?
No, he actually likes Vladar the player. He didn't know about Darth Vladar until now. I did tell him though that if there's a home game and Ersson gets pulled for Vladar, he's got to play the Imperial March.
Oh, I like it.
I do almost like Duran had that. He had the mashup right coming in the 9th inning.
So
we need something equivalent
Russ,
to that. For
you're a sharp guy, man. Like you get your stuff on the Flyers commercials with the Danny Briere. Yeah. And now all of a sudden, every time Darth Vladar comes into a hockey game, you're gonna get the Imperial March on the organ.
Yep.
You see, now that's an idea. Like when he leads them onto the ice.
Yes.
Have the arena go dark and just play the.
Yeah. So
right?
If he sets himself apart as the number one, like we'll obviously go tell the Flyers this now. They're going to listen. They have to.
Yeah, they have to listen.
Star Wars Night's probably coming up, right? It's usually early in the season.
Yeah, they do have a Star Wars night, but I think it's later actually.
Yeah. Oh, they made it later this year?
Yeah.
Get ready for shop.snowthegoalie.com. That's all I have to tell you. There may be something coming up soon. People are going to be very excited. Anyway, let's get back to the game, for better or worse. Cam York's first game of the season. Any thoughts on his first game back?
I thought he played pretty well. He made he mishandled the puck a couple times, but he hasn't played. First game back, you're allowed to make some errors, but I thought he played a pretty good positionally sound game.
No, I mean that's Bundy's got it right. Look, if you want like analysis on an individual defenseman, are you going to ask me, or are you going to ask the guy who played the position in the league?
I'm going to ask you. Not. Hey, real quick, I saw this by Tony Louie, and this is one of the I hate this line. Two things can be true at once. It says can't blame the goalie when they score one goal through 58 minutes.
Well, yeah,
we're fair to point out and to criticize some of the at least one of the goals that was given up, and the fact that the goal that the really bad goal, the second goal, kind of killed a little bit of momentum because it felt like the Flyers were getting themselves back in the game, and it was almost immediate.
Yeah. So you're exactly right, Russ. So okay, if you're looking at the entirety of the game in a 5-2 loss, right? Are you going to sit here and say they lost the game because Sam Ersson had a bad game? No. That's not the reason they lost the game. But there was enough there to criticize Sam Ersson. He faced 14 shots and only stopped 10. Okay? That is worthy of criticism. He gives up a goal that he has to make a save on that turns a 1-goal game into a 2-goal game late in the second period. That's impacting the game. He's not the reason they lost, but he's a reason they lost.
If he doesn't give up that goal and you continue that little wave of momentum, maybe it goes the other way. Maybe the Flyers do get a second goal. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah. If it's 2-1 after 2 periods, maybe it's a little bit different. Or I'm sorry, 1-1 after 2 periods. Yeah. That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Bottom line is they were down 1-0. You can't give up the second goal.
Yeah,
you cannot give up the second goal.
Right.
So it's I know what he's saying. That the Flyers have, but they did score a goal. But you can't give up the bad one. Yeah. And if the game's tied, who knows what it's like going into the third period. Yeah. So it's. I agree with Anthony's take. He is one of the reasons.
Yeah, he's not the reason.
Right, he's not the only reason. Right, could the Flyers have scored more? Sure, we'd love to have scored more goals. They didn't. They have faced Connor Hellebuck. He's the best goalie in the league.
He looked great tonight.
He played really well tonight.
He only had to be honest, he only had to face 15 shots himself.
17.
The Flyers did a good job clogging things
17,
up. Yeah.
17.
Yeah, 15 saves. I'm sorry.
Because don't forget, the Flyers managed to put 2 shots.
Yeah, 17 shots, 15 saves. Yes.
Brutal.
Yeah, the Flyers did a good job clogging things up too tonight, though. They did. I think they kept a lot of stuff to the perimeter of the ice.
When was the last? I mean, I'm sure it was recent, but I mean, it's not regular anymore in this game today that you have a game where both teams are under 20 shots.
Yeah, very rare.
Like pretty rare.
Very
right?
rare.
Yeah, 17 and 15. This goes back to like your era when the Devils were just choking everybody to death in a neutral zone, left wing lock and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
There's a new narrative, by the way, and this is just going to continue, and I'm going to let everybody know that if you want to break Anthony, if you have been waiting all this time, all these years, to break Anthony Sanfilippo, I want you to put up quotes. I want you to put in comments like this one by Joseph, who's talking about, the defensive core as a whole. But then I want the last line of it where Zeev Buium is brought up again, because that is going to. Ant, do you remember how for the longest time?
Look,
I'm
don't know.
I'm gonna get you even angrier.
Go ahead.
You know how for the longest time we would talk about Cam York, and on draft night I said Cole Caulfield, that's the pick, and they traded down and they chose to take Cam York, and that has been the thing that a lot of people have held on to for quite a long time, right? That's been the 1-to-1 comparison, and then like for the last year you've seen like Drysdale and Gauthier, and it does feel like now is going to be the Lachenko versus Buium.
So, two things on this. All right, first on the York versus Caulfield. There's no question Caulfield's a better player than Cam York. But again, context is key. The rationale was they felt that the combination of York and Brink would be more valuable to the team than one player in Caulfield. And we don't know the answer to that long term yet. Like, you're seeing both players kind of develop and grow, and maybe within the next couple of years, all of a sudden you're looking at that and saying, okay, because we took York, we were waiting to take Brink, and he's turned into this player, and York is a pretty solid number 2 defenseman, right? I mean, who knows? Maybe you look at it and go, yeah, ultimately that was better for the franchise than drafting one guy who's a goal scorer. Maybe not. Maybe it is Caulfield. As far as Buium, I have no idea what Zeev Buium is going to be, right? Ultimately, I'm not going to sit here and predict what he's going to be, just like I'm not going to sit here and predict what Jet Luchenko is going to be. But if anybody's watching Zeev Buium right now, he's a power play specialist. He's Shane Gostisbehere.
Oh, Jesus.
Right now, that's what he is. He may become something more than that, but he's not good defensively. He's 19. He's 19 or 20. He might be 20. But he's not impressing other than the fact that he could put up points on the power play. He's got that skill. That's great. But you got to be more than a one-trick pony, right, Bundy?
Yeah, you can't just be a power play guy, especially if you're young. You got to learn and adapt to the game. I like Buium. He's a good player. He skates well. Came up in the playoffs and played pretty well last year with Minnesota. But yeah, I mean, there's always somebody in a draft where you say coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah, of course.
And it's that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, of course. And this is
the big concern there.
Just to reply to Tony Louie, who says the talent Buium has you cannot teach. You could teach him how to play better defensively. Well, if that's the case, why didn't it work for Gostisbehere? Why hasn't it worked so far for Jamie Drysdale? Very similar kind of profiles, right? When they were coming into the league, right? Similar profile. You could teach them, but they haven't kind of gotten it yet.
Be nice if Drysdale could actually
help
on the power play.
That's all I was going to say.
That I think that's actually the most frustrating thing is like, you could say you could be a power play merchant. Drysdale was supposed to at least be a power play merchant, and that hasn't really come to fruition yet. And he's not a good defensive defenseman. So I don't know. Yeah. The hope obviously is that things are going to get better. I'm going to really quickly bring in intern Andrew. Was there anything that you saw in this game that you got really super stoked about?
So, I mean, it was definitely good that Michkov finally got on the score sheet. He definitely needed that. Other than that, a whole lot of nothing, I would say.
You know what he's most excited about? Intern Andrew?
Intern?
He's got a perfect record so far this year in picking games.
4-0, yeah.
He does.
Really?
Yeah.
Both of us do.
Ant does as well, and Ant has a perfect score. So just to update people on the standings right now, Ant is in the lead with 5 points. Intern Andrew 4 points. I have 3. Bundy has 2.
Okay.
So we're in a nice little
good start.
And it's actually a pretty strong start, all things considered.
It is a good start.
I mean, when the lowest scorer right now is batting 500 on the season, that's not bad.
No,
we're having look at us.
We're figuring it out.
Good for us.
Yeah.
Hey,